I just think it's pretty amazing that people are bringing light to the homelessness, the streets, you know, the stories, acknowledge them, all these, you know, lives and veins intertwining, going, you
Still
know.
people.
Yeah, exactly.
You just had rougher childhoods
Yeah,
than most of us, I think.
right.
All right, Randy, where'd you grow up? Where are you from originally?
I'm from Boyle Heights, East Los Angeles.
Tell me about your family, your parents.
My mom's from White She's Colleen from White My dad's from City Terrace. Sonny from City Terrace.
So both of your parents were gang members?
Yeah, we're East Side baby. I'm an East Side baby. You know, we're from the East Side. My mother passed away when I was about 5 months old. She on Witter Boulevard. She was fighting another person, another bitch, or whatever, another woman, and that woman took out a knife and stabbed my mother a few times, and my mother passed away from internal bleeding.
How old were you?
I was about 6 months old.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So the day she was doing her peacocks, she put her curling iron on the dressing cabinet, and it fell and burned me on my leg, on my left leg. So they nicknamed me Curly. You know, I have curly hair, but they named Curly for the spot right here. And you know, I just throughout the years, you know, after exceeding my life, you know, my elder homies nicknamed me Raider. I'm more like a Raider. Usually as
Better
Raider.
than Curly?
Yeah, I mean, you know, just
Better than one of the Three Stooges.
right, you know, just to reflect that I was you know.
So you're almost destined to be a gang member, both your parents in gangs.
Yeah, I have Los Angeles gang member on my neck, on the right side of my neck, with the fuck the system on my side. Boyle Heights, MCF.
You finished high school?
No. I went to 11th. I played high school football though. I played for Roosevelt High School. I was pretty good, but I was motivated to go to the. I first got incarcerated for assault. Oh no, it was an illegal weapon on school grounds. It was a knife. So I went to juvenile hall, got out. A few months, went back to camp for a burglary. I went up to Rites of Passage, and it's a boot camp in Urinton, Nevada, and they send this is the third hardest boot camp in the nation, and I was there for 2 years, and it's placement, but it's boot camp, you know, and it's. I liked it and I hated it because it's frustrating, you know, always getting fucked with, but, you know.
So you joined the gang at what age?
I was already from my neighborhood then.
When did you get involved in that though?
13.
13.
Yeah.
Did you feel like there was a choice, or it was just what
well, you know, it was I was torn between getting into White Fins, which is very traditional and yeah, very traditional. So I wanted to be from White Fins, but yet again, from a neighborhood that was really pretty much active. White Fins it has long tradition, but they're pretty much at the time they're thin out. You know, everyone was busted. No one was really on the block. I wanted to be like Colors, like 30 homeboys on the block, you know, selling dope, smoking dope, everything. Just, you know, I wanted to feel that energy, you know. So MC Force was that was my you know. So me, my twin cousins, and my best homeboy Boxer, we all. Oh yeah, my cousin Trusty and Gato and Trigger, we all got in the neighborhood. Yeah, it was 5, 6, 7, 8 of us, and got in my neighborhood, in 1990, December of 1993. So,
Where are you guys all now?
oh man, my cousins shot and killed their own brother on accident. You know, I think he was just spun out on drugs though, but they're both doing life for murder. My cousin Speedy's murder for hire, and my cousin Smurf's shot and killed his brother Eddie.
So you're lucky to be alive.
Yeah, and then
free.
My cousin Trusty was assassinated by accident, mistaken identity. That caused us MP Metaflats to I'm sorry for moving. That caused us MP Metaflats to start going at it, and that war's been carrying on for about 7 years now.
What attracts a young man to that life? I mean, even before all your friends gotten into.
Well, in East LA, we have tagging crews, we have party crews. So before I got into a gang, I was rolling around with the party crews of, you know, Chronic and Hip Hop Society. My tagging crew was CKS, City King Styles. It's a big gang, big tagging crew back in 92, 93 in East LA. But all those guys generated into gangs, different cliques from neighborhoods, and I drifted off to myself. And
But you were aware that it was either prison or death, right?
yeah, I mean,
Even when you joined the gang at 13, you probably knew it was prison or death, right?
at that age, I wasn't even thinking about jail at all. I wasn't even thinking about nothing really.
Nobody said anything to you.
Yeah, I just want to feel accepted by my peers, accepted by my community, acknowledged that I was doing somehow, some way, protecting my streets. You know, the senoras, the friends. You know, that I was, you know, being a watchful eye for them. You know, if any harm came their way or any problems or anything, you know, anyone stealing their stuff or anything, because my grandmother was she was purse snatched, you know. So I mean, you know, so my grandmother, Rosemary McGill, she did all she can to raise me, you know, but I still was in and out, you know, in and out of jail. So
How much prison time have you done?
well, I went to when I was after rites of passage, I committed another offense. Oh yeah, I got down with an enemy in school from Vickerstown, and I went to jail for the cops came, started roughing me up, so I ended up catching a assault on a police officer in high school, and went to jail, went back to camp. I went to camp I went to Camp Gonzales, and then I went to Mendenhall. I got refiled from Mendenhall and went to Miller and then went home.
But in total, your whole life, how many years have you done?
Man, close up to 23 years.
23 years.
Yeah, because after that I caught assault with a firearm and a strong arm robbery on Soto and Whittier, and for the hired gentlemen, and I
So
just
probably more than half of your life in prison.
yeah, I got 6 years with 2 strikes. So after I got out 2006, I was shot 7 times, fighting with my enemies. Yeah, I have the scar right here. It's a pretty gnarly scar.
Oh, wow.
So
It's a serious scar.
yeah, I flatlined on the table twice. So I kind of got a glimpse of eternity, and you know, the good and the bad, you know, and it woke me up to it's not just life, that it was a greater, it's a higher being, my higher
You saw that when you were on the table?
yeah, I flatlined twice, but
Tell me a little bit about that.
when I the doctor said I'm gonna do everything I can to save your life, so I went into surgery for 9 hours, sewing they sewed the femur artery up. And during that, I flatlined for 9 seconds. The second was for 4. Thank God my heart was strong enough to revive itself. And I felt as if like it was all colors. It was all colors, and it was like a power, a love that you could feel. I felt like if I was mist, I wasn't even in human form. I felt like if I was just just a mist, but all together, and I felt just a love passing, not just like that I could feel and sense, but it was as if it was passing through me, like through eternity, like going past you, going, past your ancestors, past you, down to your offspring, everything I felt. And then all of a sudden, the gloom went away, and all darkness came, and it felt. I immediately felt like the darkness was alive and wanted it hated, it just hated you. It just wanted to hurt you, just wanted to get you and destroy you. And I was afraid, First time I was like, I'm not really afraid of nothing, but that it got me like acknowledge that is, I guess it was God telling me like, hey, I'm here, but if you walk without me, this is what you're walking with. So I I still didn't take heed, still got out the hospital. I woke up on Christmas Day with cookies in there, so that was in 2006. 2007, 8, I was alright, but I started catching pro violations. I caught a 8-month violation, then 9-month violation, 10-month violation. Then I did a year in Chino. Then I mean, I was alright. I was already embedded into politics, but that's when I really started getting my name out there, running county jails, running prisons, running yards, organizing stuff. Just I guess being keeping an eye of not doing our own people unjust, keeping an eye of prosperity, respect, and unity amongst the ranks of all of us, the Sur, And I say, I mean,
In prison, it's a little more racial, where it's the Mexicans against the blacks against the whites.
yeah, I've been in riots where people die, where people die, and I've known friends that have never made it, so they are very dangerous. I was in the riot in CMC, not a couple of years ago with my big homie there, in the yard. So, and I'm on the mesa, so I'm representing, So I've been there, and I know how. So, I mean, me and my family, we're just we're kind of entwined, I have but after prison, after getting out of those violations, I stood out for about a year or two, and ended up catching a assault with a deadly weapon. I box cutter, I hit some fool in the face with a box cutter, sliced him through his cheek, bridge of, underneath his eye, and through the bridge of his nose. He jumped my girlfriend along with a couple of his homeboys, and his homegirls, because she didn't want to get down with my lady. So that led to me showing aggression and letting them know who I was, and that cost me 7 years of my life. I was lucky it didn't cost me my whole life, but when I didn't even know that that he had filed a report. So those couple of days I was on drugs somewhere in Hollywood. one of my homegirls didn't want to charge my phone. She was acting stupid. And I think it was Hollywood and Western. Yeah, where the Rouse is. I ended up breaking, having I guess I'll say a mental outburst, breakdown, or whatever. I ended up breaking the windows, both windows to Ralph's, and waited till the cops got there. And there's an employee there that tried to get involved, tried to stop me, whatever. And she said I threatened her, that was not the case. Even though we summoned the video and showed that I was following the truth with my word, like she said I hit the window 20 times, which was I broke the window once.
What drug were you on?
Oh, I was on meth. And no sleep, so that's a bad mix.
Say no more.
No water, no nothing, not nurse. But so I got incarcerated. When
So in prison, do you get into other activities too?
Yeah, I mean, I went
other than riding.
I went pro per. I went to after fighting it in Inglewood Court. I got bonded over. Well, I didn't know I was getting followed by I didn't know I had a warrant from Lenox Sheriff, and the woman, the detective, she ended up being born and raised in my neighborhood, so knew a lot about my neighborhood, and was reminiscing. Oh, you guys didn't you guys shoot that little kid? I was like, no, we don't do that. We don't. That was the other neighborhood that shot at us and ended up killing a kid, ended up killing my homeboy Champ's little niece and my homeboy's little girl. And so that spiraled a lot of violence. So when people were to get in my neighborhood, that would be the first neighborhood they would hit. It's just Evergreen, which was there to the left of us. So it's Wyfins, Evergreen, us, and then Cam, Hazard. And so that's like the little roll right there. And
it's interesting. It's all one city, but they're all at war with each other.
Yeah, very much. Breach Street's right there, Tiny Boy's right there, Big Meadow Flats right there, East LA's right there. So we all don't get along. We all hate each other. So.
And these are all Mexican gangs?
Yes, very, very strong, very powerful.
And they hate each other?
Yeah. And
then it's not even about a black or white thing or Mexican.
Yeah. It's just
it's a whole nother set of.
It's a whole nother form of hate that you have to. It causes you, if you're walking down the street, to glance back, to check the corner, to see the people on the streets, see what they're check their hands, see if they're flinching, evaluate their body expressions if they're following you, looking at you, trying to keep tabs on, just see if, 2 blocks down, see if they're still. So I got to.
Is life more treacherous in prison or on the streets?
I would say on the streets because a lot more worse could happen to you. In the streets, it's either you get stabbed to death in your cell or you get stabbed on the yard. You might live through it, or a riot, or a fight. Out here, you have automatic weapons. You have people that know how to shoot. You have. I've been on a lot of shootouts. I have multiple gun charges. One on brandishing a firearm on LAPD. I fought that case for 9 months, and they didn't have no firearm, so I took it to trial twice, and the DA dismissed the case. So that was with two false imprisonments that were they're my people. They let me in the house, so they manipulated my people to roll over on me, which I take no offense because one's my homegirl and one's my homeboy. They couldn't suffer coming into contact with the law. One didn't have papers, and the other one had warrants and wasn't ready to go to jail because she had just had a kid. So, but they twisted my words, twisted their words, but I still managed to beat the case.
But when you're in prison, do you get orders to do things that?
I ran Lancaster, Chino, Wasco with the first generation Mexican mafia, and I ran CMC with first generation, and it's different if you have a passport with just a hand-me-down license, other than them being there next to you, giving you the opportunity to run the show for them, in steps in good faith that it's all, a resemblance of their style, their style, their image. So I got that I got to take that deep breath and succeed in that successfully,
Yeah, but I'm talking about like with sex, like.
Oh, sex offender. Oh, yeah. I stabbed a rapist 9 times, sent him to the hospital in Delano. That was my first time being
So you'll get orders to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, sex offenders we don't tolerate. Members of my family were victimized from that evil. So
how does that happen in prison? Somebody just comes to you and say, "Here's what you're doing today."
There's a way of and fashion we express, like, hey, look at them. There's this dude on the yard. There's this dude right here that he raped like the dude I stabbed. He raped a 16-year-old girl with a foreign object, with a Corona bottle. So I stabbed him 9 times without question. The next day I came out and I stabbed him 9 times, and I hit him with the thick trays, the state trays, and split his head there, and caught a battery on a CO for trying to protect a child molester. I took offense to that too, so I got off on the police for trying to protect them. So I caught 2 charges that day, 2 DA referrals, which thank God they were not acknowledged, because at the time sometimes the DA will look the other way
because it's a sex offender.
Right. It's just depending on what DA though, but most DAs though, they know what time it is. It's gonna happen anyways, but it's inevitable. But
and you've been out now for how long?
I've barely been out for not even 80 days.
Oh, you're fresh out.
Fresh out from doing 7 from the GBI.
And where are you staying now?
North Hollywood, trying to get into housing.
You're in the street now.
Yeah, trying to get into housing. So I'm Native American with a BI number, and now I'm commercial real estate, 20 acres of commercial real estate in Scottsdale, Arizona. I buried my grandmother in Sells, Arizona, because she's Papago, and my grandfather's Pima, and them 2 tribes joined each other to make Toho Noham. So we have we're one of the largest Indian native soils in the United States. We speak the native Yutu Aztec language. There's 22 different dialects, and we speak one. But my tribe endured a lot from Mexico and the cavalry, the U.S. So we endured. Most of them were scouts, and I guess it's just the reconnaissance. I guess it runs in my blood, because my tribes were scouts for the U.S. cavalry, on the Mexican troops that were fighting the Northern Regiment. And my grandfather's an Army Ranger, but died in Normandy. Died in D-Day. He's buried in a military cemetery. My father's Air Force reconnaissance. My uncle's Marine United States Marines Force Recon. I joined the Marines at 18, but 30 days into enlistment, I caught that assault with a firearm and robbery, strong arm robbery. So 30 more days. I took the ASVAB test. I was ready to go. So that broke my spirit, but I guess I belong to the street military, I guess, street
Do you
platoon.
have children of your own?
I have 2 daughters.
You do?
Yeah, my daughter Sunshine and my daughter Abigail. So, I mean, I never met my second daughter, Ms. Baker, and she lives in Bakersfield, my second baby mom. I mean, while I was there with her, she wasn't pregnant, but all of a sudden she moves up there and I got him. But I don't care if it is mine. I want everything to do with my daughter. My first daughter, I have good relations with. Unfortunately, she's not with her mom. My cousin Desiree got custody of her, but she gives her anything she wants and everything. But
And tell me about drug use now that you're out. Are you using again?
well, yeah, because I mean, my baby mama's second baby daddy molested my daughter for 2 years and was arrested for it and everything, but not dealt with on the street yet, So getting out, just knowing all that was
It's hard to live with.
yeah, it's hard to knowing this is what I do, seek and retrieve those child molesters that are keeping up their negative, evil behavior, their awful, staying around parks, schools. If we see this in the community, which I have a strong eye for and sense, then I immediately, react and go about, the necessary steps to get them away, and pyro their tents, whatever, hunt them down, beat them up, or just let them know that there's a presence that's stronger than them, that will, let they will get their hands. They do have a long reach, so they could stick around if they want, or they could flee. But so
Is your dad still around?
my dad, oh man, my dad, he was the best dad I've ever had. He put me in every damn soccer, football, baseball, basketball, karate, gymnastics, everything. And I had a bad habit before of smoking rock cocaine. This is before meth was, popping. So that and some dude passed by as my enemy. He passed by and he shot with I was with my 2 friends, 2 boxers from White Cisco from White and there's me on 4th Street in Grande Vista, which is White Evergreen passed by and shot with a little 22. I got mad, pulled out my Beretta and lit him up, and ended up, I guess the neighbor got afraid, told my dad, and my dad distanced himself from me, I guess, because I was getting too reckless with myself, with putting people in jeopardy, I guess, hurting them, it hurt me, just the worst thing. It's the worst hate that I've ever felt in my life. It's just knowing that I failed him and couldn't rejuvenate and couldn't show him that I couldn't make it out to him in any kind of way. So that's always gonna be a hole in my heart, because he was a wonderful, good father.
What's your biggest regret in your life?
I would say that hurting my dad and my grandmother, before she passed away in '95.
Do you regret taking the path that your life took with gangs and all that? Or you just feel like that's just...
I can, because I met so many good people along the way, so I feel that God has unfolded a path for me to walk, and I guess He entwines us. He allows us to meet other people for reasons that are greater than us, you know, and just the only thing I regret is just not getting to know God first, just not praying to Him, or not waking up my eyes, not opening my eyes and say, thank you, Lord, for allowing this. Sometimes I tend to forget every day or every other day, but those days when I do want to know the Lord and talk to Him and express and pray and fear Him, things feel better, things seem better. And I also feel I've also been on that iceberg with all the hatred and all the evil and demons and all those. I worked inside of a freeway before, and my duty was to protect the customers and make sure there's no extreme violence, no rapes, no sex offenses, no domestic minimum, no guns, and I've seen people OD, I've seen people die, I've seen people buried, I've seen people shot, I've seen people stabbed. I've done the same, and I still managed to bring to make the group, whatever group that's there at the time, getting high, whatever, comfortable and safe. And for some reason, it means something to me that things could be a lot different, with someone else there, but someone that got the right heart, mind, and prosperity in his heart to care for another human being other than himself. There's not too many people around like that no more. So, I just pretty much got adopted by, some Masons, and got to know and got to turn another leaf over other than just the Southside Regiment, just see all life and all aspects through a different mirror and different view. And it was pretty interesting, And I felt, with just cause, like someone could just, I can't just walk down the street and hurt somebody for no reason like I used to. It had to be for a just cause, it absolutely have to be for a reason, So I just, but people still somehow, some way stumbled upon my path. So, but.
Randy, what would you say is the most important lesson you've learned in your life?
I'm always very hard on myself, but most important thing in life is to really know what you want. To really, if I would have known what I know younger, I would have been right. But 18 years old, or gun blazing, wanting to get your name out there, having people, I really didn't care about people fearing me, but yeah, my name was pretty, from all the shootouts and all the chasing fools down and hunting them. I was pretty intense. I was pretty. If you had me in the back seat, it was on. I said, my homies love me. Not just that, I was digesting knowledge of and taking photographic memories of political situations and how to unravel knots and how to digest whatever's going on, how to put in compartments or this and that, having to analyze and dissect a critical situation that's might, all right, these guys are moving forward rapidly. Oh, they're another race. Okay, this is how we do it. You know, we don't underestimate nobody, but we do have to. I had to make sure my people is safe and make sure there's a force protecting them, you know. So it just means a lot to me, you know. But yeah, if I die for it, then I'll be happy, you know, because I'm not just dying for myself. You know, dying for something that's should be recognized, you know. Should be recognized. People just it's kind of hard to represent a cause that we live by the code of silence. A lot of people don't even know gangbanging. They don't know nothing really on how sophisticated and whether, you know, elements we have to endure and go through and sort out. They have no clue. They just think we're animals without thought, you know. But it's really family and, you know, fun, you know. It's fun, you know. But, you know, I don't know, man. Right. They also know me as R2D2, little robot. So.
All right, Randy. Thank you so much for sharing your story.
All right, take care, man.
Wish you the best of luck. Thanks, man.